Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Kelly. Welcome to Be in the Change. I'm going to get started by reciting my inspiration. Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, which most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people will not feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Marianne Williamson. I'd like to say welcome to everyone who's watching me for the first time, and welcome back and thank you to everybody who's been following me on this journey. Stating in 2019 as my New Year's resolution that I was breaking up with fear, I was breaking up with shame, and I was breaking up with guilt, followed by a weekly video for the entire year, which it was the first New Year's resolution I ever told anybody what it was, and I was able to follow through. 2020 was to be kinder and more compassionate to myself and others, which I'm still working on, which I'm still doing. And 2021 was to break up with processed sugar, and that is still a journey, and I'm still broken up. I had a couple of relapses with processed sugar, but I just want to tell you guys, I watched that show Made, which was like, oh my God, on Netflix. If you guys didn't get a chance, I suggest watching it. But it takes the average person 5 times to leave an abuser. Food has been an abuser. Alcohol and drugs have been an abuser. Relationships have been abusive. There's so many, cigarettes have been abusers. There's so many things in my life that I've had to get away from, and a lot of times the first attempt isn't always successful. A lot of times when I wasn't good at something right away, I would take it as it's a sign. I'm not meant to do it. Instead of, I had shame, and shame, the definition of shame, I heard this the other day, should have already mastered everything. And so I carried this shame around like I should be good at things that no one ever taught me or showed me how to do. And I wasn't. And then I would feel this tremendous amount of shame. I'm not meant to do this. This is too hard. And I told you guys before, in the pandemic, I learned so much about myself through actions that I took or did not take. But one of the things that happened for me during this pandemic was I learned that I knew I was never ever going to get my way anyway. So why bother? So that stopped me from doing a lot of things in my life because I thought I was never going to get my way anyway, so why bother? And then the people that were drawn to me were people who the only way to get their way was to make it frickin' happen. So I feel like you're either one way or the other way. You're either, the only way I'm gonna have this happen is if I make it frickin' happen, or Michelle, never gonna get my way anyway, so why bother? For me, what I have found out is I need to bother. The outcome is none of my business, but what my business is to do the act anyway. And part of the act for me is speaking out loud and telling you guys where I am, how I am, and who I am. And I know myself so well that I'm not afraid for anybody else to see me, to hear me, or to know me, which is, oh my God, I can't even tell you guys. But after this process has happened for me and is still happening for me, part of my job from God, my vocation, is to go back and show other people how to get back to themselves. So that is the process for me. And I was talking about judging other people last week and how I've learned not to do that anymore. And not that I don't judge other people. I can see where they are and then remember, I used to be there too. And if nobody told me or showed me, I could still be there too. And I realized every person is worth it. And every person is of value. And it is not my job to say who gets what and how they get it. I wanted to talk to you guys about sickness versus wellness. So like we're in a world that's good, bad, black, white, all, nothing, good or evil. I do not believe in evil. I believe in sickness and I believe in wellness. And I was sick for a really long time, and a lot of people are sick. And what I've realized and what I've learned is when I first got into my first 12-step program for drugs and alcohol, they told us about, there was this thing called a 12-step call. And a 12-step call was like if somebody was in an emergency, just say somebody got drunk, and they wanted somebody to come and see them or talk to them. What they would tell us is never go alone. Bring somebody else with you. It takes 2 well people to be with 1 sick person. If there is 1 sick person and 1 well person, the well person will get sick before the well person will make the sick person well. So it takes 2 well people to be with 1 sick person. So we're in a world that is telling everybody who's well to go take care of the sick. And I get it, but most people aren't well and they think that they are. So part of this sickness versus wellness, I'll give you an example. I dated somebody a while ago and they had road rage. And every time we got in the car, he would yell at people. And then I started to yell at him, not to yell at everybody else. So he had road rage. I didn't have road rage. When we broke up, I had road rage. I didn't take his road rage away. I got sick. I didn't make him well. So what I'm learning and have learned is I need to be well first. And having a second person with you when you're with somebody sick, or having like a team of people as opposed to one-on-one, the well person will get sick. So if you're taking care of somebody who's sick, chances are you will get sick before you'll make that person well. If you are not able to take care of yourself and do all the things that you need to do in order for you to be well. So if you start missing the things that you love to do to help somebody else who's sick, that's how in turn you get sick. If you stop going to your dance class, which dancing for me is part of my wellness, which I love. Like now I've learned not to miss my things in order to help somebody else. I can help other people, but not at that time. Where before I used to cancel my events to go help somebody else. And now what I realized is I can keep my events and help people in between. And for me, my second person now is God. So God is always with me, but I also usually need a second body with me. And it's way more fun with other people. But we're in this world where we keep getting told to take care of everybody else first. And we're getting sicker. And it is not helping. So not feeling selfish for doing things that are healthy for me has been a struggle for me, because I used to feel like I never wanted to be selfish. And part of not being selfish is doing what I need to do. But when I do it with a like, screw you, my intentions aren't pure. So I learned this is a lifelong process of learning how to take care of myself and how to take care of others. And if I am not well, I am not showing up as my best self to help you. And if I say I'm coming to help you and I don't want to be there, I'm not giving my 100%. You're not lucky that I showed up. You would probably be better off if I wasn't there. Because when people don't want to be somewhere, you can feel that. You know that. I know that. So this whole taking care of yourself and being well is a lifelong process and journey. And part of my journey is to help you guys realize you need to take care of yourselves first, and then we can go back and help other people. And the other thing is, you know, the St. Francis of Assisi prayer. Is it St. Francis? Yeah. And it's like, it's better to love than be loved. It's better to give peace than have peace. And I remember being up at the Karen Foundation, which was my favorite place in the whole wide world. They had chapel, which I am not a churchgoer, but I was there and it was awesome. But Father Bill, who is no longer alive anymore, touched my heart in so many ways. But he said that prayer to St. Francis was assuming that you are well, not to go and love when you don't have it to give. You can't give it if you don't have it. And knowing where to go and how to do it are some of the tools that I've gotten through the course of my life. And I now have a full toolbox, which is awesome, but I never had the tools. And most people don't have the tools and they think that they do. So filling your toolbox up with healthy tools is something that I'm learning how to do, you know, daily. And I have to keep putting my tools back in my toolbox and not lending them out to other people and not getting it back. So that's something I learned too. So thank you so much for everybody who's watching. Please stay safe, stay tuned, and I will see you all next week.